Warning, this might be the most unhinged dog park on the internet.
Yo, it's Chuck and Barry.
Today, we're at the dog park. Buckle up, it's total chaos.
I ran 8 steps today. Honestly, I blacked out. So worth it.
Did anyone ever tell the pug he sounds like a broken air conditioner? Bro needs a filter change.
Out of all dogs, the bull mastiff called me skinny. Nah, I'm a rocket with legs. You don't pet me, you launch me.
I've mapped the entire park in my head. Exit routes, ball trajectories, squirrel hotspots. My IQ is over 150, but I round down so the Labradors don't feel bad.
Hey, I'm Good Boy. Last name is Hungry Again. Wait, is that actually my name?
Peso 3 kilos, pero emocionalmente soy un pastor alemán con espresso. Ahora voy a ver si puedo pelearme con el Doberman.
A Chihuahua tried to pick a fight with me today. I don't even know where he is now. We call him G-Spot, because he's so small you'll never find him.
Day 12 of trying to win the Bernese. He finally sniffed me. I said yes. We're honeymooning in the backyard.
All I know is, every stick in this park is legally mine. And every shoe.
That's all for today. Now we go eat grass until you puke.
And follow us at @WeAreGoodPets for more. See you there, amigos.
Well, hello there, partner. Go on and hang up your hat, grab yourself a whiskey, and pull up in the easy chair. We're coming off the range of 9 to 5s with a whole herd of news stories that we've been steaming over like a cow patty in the Texas heat. As they say, the chickens are finally coming home to roost. And we're here to ruffle some feathers and ensure accountability ain't just a concept, it's reality. It's that time where the day's drama casts its longest shadow. So let's light a candle to the chaos of current events, the whirlwind of politics, and the tangled webs of corruption that we find ourselves entwined by. It's time to ramble our way into the twilight. Welcome to Sunset Rants.
Oh, lost my place.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Sunset Rants. Hey, Brian. I'm your host, Biddy. Thank you guys for joining us. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. I hope you guys are relaxing now, ready to watch the show. I'm here with the co-host and actual producer, Brian. What's
up? Fluffy Hobo was supposed to be joining Biddy tonight, but he had a power outage and his internets haven't come back up yet. So maybe Fluffy will join us mid stream, maybe not. It's like, just hope the man's internet comes back up, because how do you live without internet access?
I know these days we're just like chained to it. It's so true. But yeah, unfortunately, with the internet access comes all the issues. I was having audio issues myself earlier, but we're here. We're ready for you guys.
I mean, frankly, I'm surprised everything worked for me when, I got us up on stage here. How many times have we done sound check and I'm involved and then we start the stream like, Brian, we can't hear you, Brian.
Yep. Yeah. And actually, I need to restart my computer at some point, so hopefully it'll be all good for the hour.
Well, I figured out that my computer wasn't, really acting the way it was supposed to act. So, I had to let it take a nap for a couple of minutes and then start it back up again. For some reason, Windows 11 gets cranky if you run it too long at a time. I don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also got to remember to clear out those dang cookies. But as usual, we have a bunch of stories to get to today. Some of them may have fallen under the radar, under a lot of, everything else that's going on, but they're just as important, and especially to, local politics. So why don't we kick it off?
I'll put the presentation window up on stage.
Thank you. Thank you.
And go full screen for the benefit of everyone.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
So coming from USA Today, more than 1,000 HHS workers demand RFK Jr. resigns. Like we didn't know that was coming. A group of more than 1,000 current and former Department of Health and Human Services employees released a letter on September 3rd demanding Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s resignation. The letter's release comes after Kennedy's agency has faced controversy around recent actions like cutting funding to mRNA vaccine development and a dispute that led to the White House's firing of Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Director Susan Monterez. The September 3rd letter, which is addressed to Kennedy and members of Congress, argues the secretary, quote, continues to endanger the nation's health. Another quote, our oath requires us to speak out when the Constitution is violated and the American people are put at risk. The Constitution violated, but yet they support mandates. Thus, we warn the President, Congress, and the public that Secretary Kennedy's actions are compromising the health of this nation, and we demand Secretary Kennedy's resignation. Well, I'm sorry, but you know what? About 80 million people disagree with you because he was a big key reason why a lot of people, voted for Trump. He was one of those key figures because of everything he said he wanted to do.
And Kennedy has been doing exactly what he said he was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing which he's doing his main platform when he was running as an independent presidential candidate. So I think, and 1,000 or so current, it says current and former CDC officials. I wonder how many of those are former CDC officials. I mean, we're talking about probably, people that have been entrenched there since probably the fucking Reagan administration.
Mm-hmm.
And they've had their apple cart upset and they've seen their apple carts upset. So, now, we're going to raise a stink. We're going to raise a fuss. And yep. I think that's what this mostly is.
Yeah. One thing about CDC or former CDC director Susan Monterez, she wasn't the first choice. There was David Weldon, who was put up as a nominee by Trump, and there was like a lot of controversy around him, that they didn't think that he was going to get appointed and whatnot because of his stance on how he feels about casual links between vaccines and autism. So,
right.
They went with Susan Monterez, and she was just recently ousted. And I was wondering, how that would happen, like if President Trump could just appoint another person. But back on June 16th of last year, there was an action taken under the Biden administration that went into effect in January of this year because of an omnibus budget bill that said that the appointment of the CDC director has to have congressional approval. I wonder, because they knew everything that Trump was going to do. They knew everything that our Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said he wanted to do as far as, changing the trajectory of the health of this country.
In related news, I believe recently a federal district judge, which apparently every time I look at the Constitution, I see nowhere where that's the most powerful person in our republic, but apparently federal district judges are, overturned Trump's firing of that CDC director because that very thing. They knew that time bomb was in there. You're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm. And that was, of course, put in the 11th hour of Biden administration because they knew, they had a gut feeling that Trump was going to win and that they were going to have to put in some safety nets for all of their big billionaire, trillionaire farmer donors and et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy thing about all of this is like what RFK Jr. is trying to do. Like, he's trying to make sure that everything is safe. He's done his studies. He's been in litigation, with a lot of these companies for different, health concerns on the public.
Right.
So he understands the laws that have been passed, the leniency that was given to these pharmaceutical companies, how a lot of these vaccines that were put in on the recommended list from the CDC weren't fully vetted, and they allowed certain levels of lead into them because they were deemed an approved amount. But yet, so there's like all of these things that need to be looked at. I mean, just look at the FDA and things like that. How many chemicals, harmful chemicals they allowed into our food. So yes, we do have a problem in this country, and he has the stats to back him up. And all they say is he's going to put people in danger. And I'm sorry, but if you are vaccinated, if you choose to vaccinate yourself, shouldn't you be safe from those that decide not to? So what you're really saying is once the baby comes out of the womb, because when it's in the womb, obviously, it's the woman's choice. They could just, whatever. But once the baby's out of the womb, then it becomes the state property. And then then they can mandate all these vaccines from birth. Like a few days after birth, they start giving vaccines to these kids.
It's interesting that you make that choice of that word choice, because as soon as it comes out of the womb, apparently it's state property, because look at what we're doing. Well, that's exactly the trend that Florida is bucking. That's exactly the argument that Florida's Surgeon General made today. I think this is pretty groundbreaking, so I'll go ahead and pull it up, but take us away.
Yeah, so and perfect, segue setup there. So NBC News, Florida
almost
surgeon.
Like I knew who wrote the outline.
It's almost like you're not an alleged producer. Florida Surgeon General says state will eliminate all vaccine mandates. All, not a few, all. And the quote from the Surgeon General, every last one of them is wrong and drips with disdain and slavery. That was Dr. Joseph Ladapo. And, a lot of people are, guess who, but a lot of people are coming at him for that specific quote. But it is because you're forcing people to be able to live their lives, go to school, everything else, to have to take these vaccines. And it's not right. Have it available, show exactly what's in these things and the risk factor in them. And if you choose to get them, you choose to get them. It should not be mandated. So Florida Surgeon General Joseph Ladapo said Wednesday that the state will work to eliminate all vaccine mandates, a move that drew condemnation from public health experts. He said forcing vaccine mandates is wrong and immoral. Quote, who am I as government or anyone else? Who am I as a man standing here now to tell you what you should put in your body? Who am I to tell you that what your child should be put in their body? I don't have that right. Florida requires current vaccinations for students going to public school. Those requirements are outlined on the Florida Health website. The state is not banning vaccinations. And that's a huge key point here. They're not banning them. You still have the choice if you want to get them. They're just not mandating them. Dr. Robert Malone, whom Kennedy recently appointed to the Centers for Disease Control Prevention's Independent Vaccine Advisory Committee, wrote on X that he had spoken with Ladapo on Tuesday, calling him, quote, a measured scientist who is on fire to change the system for the better. As a member of the advisory committee, Malone is instrumental in making recommendations to the CDC about who should get certain vaccines, and he has been very vocally critical of vaccines. Dr. Susan Kresley, the president of the American Academy of Pediatrics, emphasized the importance of childhood vaccines in a statement, saying, we are concerned that today's announcement by Governor DeSantis will put children in Florida public schools at higher risk for getting sick and have ripple effects across their community. So again, if you are elderly, if you are someone is prone to having the worst side effects from a specific disease or whatever, then of course that's something that a conversation you should have with your trusted provider. And if it's something that you should get, then you make that decision. But mandating it across the board for every single person is just absolutely insane, especially people that are healthy, giving them pieces of specific diseases that are ingrained in these vaccines. It's something that they probably wouldn't have even contracted. It's something that needs to stop. And we've seen this with a lot of different things, with the banning of lab grown meat that's happened in Florida, and now it's kind of like spreading throughout the nation and all the red states. So hopefully
it's kind of
happening as well.
We're kind of seeing a reverse tidal wave, I guess, because for generations in this country, every bad idea, every idea I would consider bad that would start a wave across the country would start out on the West Coast. All these bad ideas, like California emission standards, all the freaking stupid environmental policies, all that shit. It'd start out west on the West Coast, and then it'd get adopted nationwide, partially because economy does have such a large state economy itself. It's able to exert that kind of influence. Well, now the pendulum has shifted to the East Coast, specifically to Florida. So basically, most of the good ideas that Florida is trying out, well, guess what? Other states are adopting it. The exception here, Florida was late to the game in constitutional carry. I admit that. But, we're kind of seeing this wave of, really good ideas starting out in Florida. And if you look in the chat, I'll bring it up. I believe Iris points out that, more states may follow, I think is what she meant to say. She wrote may more states follow, I think, because it points out in the article. So.
Yeah. No, I agree. And like you said, there's just so much coming out of Florida. I mean, stem cell therapy, they're looking into that. Refund for overpayments by patients, which is something insane that I've never seen anybody tackle. I remember my stepfather used to get bills in the mail and just pay it because he would freak out about it. Yeah.
You work in the medical industry. I mean, that's huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
type 1 diabetes early detection program. I mean, they are on fire right now in Florida, and I'm loving it. And like you said, it just becomes it just like inspires other states to jump on board. So I think it's amazing. I think that anybody pushing, I just feel like a broken record, but I mean, like you get a vaccine so you don't get the disease or whatever it is. But if you choose not to, then it shouldn't affect people that are getting it. The argument should be clear and concise as that. And I just feel like they're just saying these blanket statements of like, you're putting everybody in danger. So you're basically saying like, you don't know how to protect yourself. I'm going to tell you how to protect yourself, and I'm going to force you to do it. So that's actually what they're saying. So I'm excited about all of this, and the heat, we're going to get it. We're going to see it over and over. And I just hope they just hang tough and, just keep it going. But it's great. So there's a couple of things, and I saw a post about this and about what's going on in Florida, and somebody commented underneath like, check to see if autism rates drop in Florida. That would be very interesting.
That's one. Most of the time when someone, has a great idea that the CDC should commission a study on something because it's a healthcare issue, I say, nah, bullshit. That's just another grunt. You're just trying to get my guns again. But this time, yes, this definitely should happen. And this is something that's going to take years to compile.
Oh yeah.
You're not going to get that data overnight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, and that's probably what they're going to bank on, is that people don't realize that things take time, things, to weed out of the bloodstreams and different things like that.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while, and they know that people aren't going to look that deep and nuanced into it, and they're going to say, "What happened? I thought autism rates were going to start going down." They're going to like, have a bunch of people, migrating to certain areas, and then, all of a sudden they're going to get spikes in different diseases where they're coming from.
Right.
Like all different. I could just see it now. They're just going to wait until things happen, and they're going to play politics, because again, this all stems down to money. A lot of these people especially people that were on these vaccine advisory boards, a lot of them were linked to different big pharma companies. RFK Jr. pointed that out, so, he's kind of cleaned house in that regard. He's been appointing, new scientists on these boards that don't have any kind of bias links to anything, and will give, an actual scientific review of what's in these vaccines and whether or not they're safe and whether or not they're actually necessary, like hepatitis B for a toddler, like, certain things, like why are these things, and I see it every day. Like, kids are going to school at my job. They're not allowed to even step in the school until they have all their vaccines. And then you also
consider where you live.
Truancy. Yeah. And then if you can't, and then, everybody's flooding in, and if you can't get seen, then they get violent, they get
People's
angry.
Democratic Republic of New York.
Yeah. Well, it's about to be the Socialist Republic of New York soon. But anyway, send help.
Dark Hammer. That was Dark Hammer. Dark Hammer.
All right. So, we'll keep an eye out on the CDC and Florida and any other states that want to join the party. Call your local leaders. Tell them that you want this too.
Exactly.
Let your voice be heard. Yeah. All right. So, what do we got up next?
China put on a little show for their buddies, Russia and North Korea. Kim Jong-un wrote a very specialized train. The guy's like paranoid, doesn't fly anywhere. That's a whole story within itself, which is we don't have time for it tonight, sadly. But yeah. Let's see. What do we got here? I'll go ahead and read this one. Okay. China. You got to say it that way, right?
Yes.
Shut off a range of weapons and military hardware with a massive parade on Wednesday, staged in front of President Xi Jinping and 20 other heads of state, including Russian President Vladimir Putin and North Korean Kim Jong-un. Here's a look at some of the weapons they had on that were put on display, including some the world had not seen previously. Where is my mouse? I need my mouse to scroll. There it is. Okay. Drones. Okay. Get out of here. Okay. Drones, AI, and lasers. China's LY-1 laser weapon is displayed during the parade for the first time. Mounted atop armored trucks, defense analyst Alexander Neal told the BBC the powerful device is believed to have the ability to disable electronics or blind pilots.
Am I going crazy, or does the camouflage on these trucks right here look like, the pixelated camouflage in Minecraft? They have like those little like square things.
I can't confirm or deny. I've never played Minecraft.
Sorry, I just thought that was funny. Go ahead.
Yeah. So there are a number of conventional drones on display, as well as some AI-powered ones. One that drew particular attention was the AJX-002 giant submarine drone, which measures approximately 65 feet long, allegedly.
Mm-hmm. Probably added a few inches for.
Pretty sure. Yeah. Also known as an extra large unscrewed underwater vehicle. Almost said unscrewed.
I almost read unscrewed.
It could carry out reconnaissance or surveillance missions. China also showed off stealth attack drones on the parade, including GJ-11, which is capable of flying alongside unmanned fighter jets, aiding them in their missions. They're just basically lifting a page off the F-22 development program and the autonomous drones they're developing for this. Okay, this is all Temu shit here. New nuclear-capable long-range missiles. New version of China's Dongfeng 5 nuclear capable intercom ICBM, I'm just going to say that, the DF-5C, was unveiled for the parade. It's said to have a longer range than previous variants, Neil told BBC. He said the missile can carry up to 12 warheads on a mission. The missile is silo-based. All right, so I'm tired of reading this. Basically what we got here, China's trying to flex. They're trying to say, hey, Russia, North Korea, we got your back. Not only do we have your back, hey, Russia, we see the problems you're having in Ukraine, and don't fuck with us. Okay, don't even try. I think that's a lot. I think that's mainly what that said. I think
like
that's
a
mainly
multifaceted.
Yeah.
Post-parade. I have a dumb question. I know there's like, you want to posture a bit just so, and nobody kind of tries you kind of thing. But like, if you have special equipment and different things and what they can do, wouldn't you want to keep that kind of a secret? Just a little bit? I mean,
well, I'm sure what they're keeping secret is that what they're showing off is really kind of a
baseline
show, kind of a, it looks scary, but compared to what we actually have, what we've actually deployed, what we have proven capabilities of, it's supposed to be way better, but I can almost promise you it's not. As a matter of fact, I recommend a YouTube channel to watch, YouTube personality called Habitual Line Crosser. And he all the time through humorous characters lays out, and occasionally he does a serious video where he lays out, okay, USA versus whatever and how it would actually lay out. And he explains how the Chinese stuff really, they make bold claims, but they've never proven it. They've never proven it. So just leave it at that.
I do wonder though, like what they're doing. I know, like you said, it's just a bunch of posturing and stuff like that, and just kind of like, letting everybody know, where they stand and stuff like that. But I wonder if they see anything coming down the pike, if they're planning anything, if they're trying to maybe talk Putin into not agreeing to ceasefire or anything like that, just saying like, like you said, like we got your back, if you need it kind of thing. So I'm just curious if we're going to see some, action or any kind of like, agreements or anything coming out going forward. It just kind of seems like it's kind of, we're kind of getting somewhere, with these different alliances.
Well, let's see what the chat has to say right quick. Oh, by the way, everyone, I'm going to dip for maybe about a minute, 2 minutes. I'm previous commitment. Let's see. Vash says RFK wants everyone, American citizen, to wear digital real-time medical device that can be sending them health data 24/7. Well, not everybody's perfect, Vash. Yeah. Oh, Lord.
You can weed out certain things like out of your bloodstream, like leukemia, AIDS, HIV, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vaccine is just supposed to be a weakened form of the virus, so your body can build antibodies to fight it. It's not supposed to be genetic engineer to where it alters your DNA. Yeah. Kim Jong impossible. Yeah. If you need to dip, I can share my screen for the next article and stuff. Just can't share the chat.
Oh, that's fine. I'm waiting on. Okay, hold on. Let me see what's going on in there. Okay, I will dip. Let me get the. I'll get the next story up first before I do. If my computer will cooperate.
No, no worries. I'll do it. That way I can scroll and stuff. It's fine.
Okay. I will dip right quick. Sorry, guys. It's just going to be very brief. I promise.
No worries. No worries. Go ahead. All right. So let's see. To our next story here, we have coming to you from CBS News. Excuse me, coming to you from I'm like the worst. Let's see. Walz calls special session after Annunciation school shooting urges gun reform. And let me just see here. Just reshare. Okay. Yeah. Within 6 days of the Annunciation school shooting, Governor Tim Walz is calling Minnesota lawmakers back to the Capitol for a special session focused on gun legislation. Walz said that the nation's gun violence problem cannot be explained away by mental health or other factors alone. The thing that makes America unique in terms of shootings is we just have more guns and the wrong types of guns that are on the street. Okay. The legislature is closely divided with 2 pending special elections set to determine control. Walz said bipartisan cooperation will be necessary to advance any changes. I'm going to need some Republicans to break with the orthodoxy and say we need to do something on guns. The crazy thing is that, mental health is a huge issue. I mean, that's kind of like the umbrella over all of these shootings, because we have a ton of people, a ton of gun owners that are responsible and aren't inclined to go out there and start hurting people, like way more than the people that have been. We also have people who get guns illegally. They don't purchase them legally. They get them on the street. And, a lot of these governors will like to say, oh, they're getting them from red states and then going into blue states. But yet, what do you say to like places where they have like illegal guns and things like that? Either way, guns will make it into this country, and that's why we should have the ability to protect ourselves. Let's see. GOP response. House Speaker Lisa DeMuth said her caucus is prepared to work on student and school safety. She emphasized the need to strengthen school security. Yes, absolutely. And expand mental health resources. Yes. Not what she called vague demands for policies that have not stopped gun violence in other states. Exactly. DeMuth said Republicans are open to reviewing existing gun laws and ensuring enforcement. Quote, when we have situations where there are decreased penalties for gun offenses, that's something that we'll look at, she said. Yeah, so I was kind of looking around. There's one thing that's been touted, and it was the enactment of the Gun-Free School Zone Act that went into effect on November 29th of 1990. It was signed into law, and it prohibits the possession of firearms in school zones, which are defined as areas within 1,000 feet of public, parochial, or private schools. So we have that, right? We have a big sign that says gun-free zones. You can't bring a gun there. So that's all well and great when it comes to people who would actually be there to protect the kids. Like if we had security there that were armed, some little snot nose that decides that, he hates the world and he wants to take everybody down with him, and he's lost his marbles, will maybe think a little bit before he runs gun blazing into any of these areas, because, some of them, they're kind of ready to go, of course, but at the same time, they have an agenda. They want to make a statement, and they can't make that statement if they're not able to get past armed security guards. So there's that. Mental health, like I said, over and over again, it's a huge issue, and it's getting worse. There's been a lot of movements that have happened in this country that are getting people violent. People have lost total regard for human life. So that needs to be addressed first and foremost. But also things like, I said it in last week's show, like fortifying or, doing something about the infrastructure and the security of these schools, like the different bulletproof glass maybe, or some kind of like panic rooms, something. I'm not an expert on the thing, but there's got to be other conversations to be had, except like the number one that always go to, which is taking away people's right to bear arms. And protecting yourself should always be a right that we don't ever give up for so many different reasons. We've seen instances where mass shooting attempts were thwarted because there was somebody that was walking around, just a civilian who had their own firearm, and they were able to subdue the person even without shooting a shot. Just the presence of that person with their own weapon, to thwart the attack was enough. So, and they know this too. They absolutely know this. They have access to all the data. They have people to advise them on, statistics and things and, whatever. But their agenda is to disarm this nation so that way they can most likely enact other, radical, tyrannical, different legislations and take away other rights. They want to do this. Welcome back, Brian.
Yeah, I got my sound check did over at the other server. I will be calling into the Timcast after show tonight. So, well, anyway, I'm not going to encourage you to go over there because Roman Nation has a show following this one. So you should definitely watch the Roman Nation sports show following this one.
Absolutely. Yeah, don't forget, we have the Roma Sports. It's 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Same place with AK and Gargi going on tonight. But yeah, I was just kind of looking on the history of shootings, and they've just gotten worse over the years, and so much legislation has been passed, even just beginning in 1993 with the to address the street level crime. There's the House and Senate back the Brady Handgun Violence Prevention Act, named for President Ronald Reagan's press secretary James Brady, who was gravely wounded in Reagan's attempted assassination in 1981. So that kind of started legislation on, gun control there, gun reform. There was federal gun legislation enacted by Congress in 94. The federal assault weapons ban bars the manufacture and possession of broad swath of semi-automatic weapons. The provision included as part of the sweeping 1994 crime bill, shepherded by then Senator Biden and signed into law by President Bill Clinton. So we've had, the assault weapons ban signed into law 10 years earlier. That was in 94. In 2004, according to a predetermined sunset date ahead of the expiration, congressional Democrats seek either to extend the ban another decade or to broaden it. So they've been kind of working at this for a long time, but the occurrences of mass shootings has gone up. So if you have all of this going on, 2013, again, 2017, 2018, just constantly going through Congress and nothing is happening, then maybe you need to put your attentions elsewhere. It's not the guns, it's not the knives, it's not the trains that people are getting pushed in front of. It's the people. It's the people that have lost their ever-loving mind, lost all, care for their fellow man, and have no problem with just taking somebody down with them. And that's the main issue, and they're not going to address it.
Waltz is calling a special session of his legislature to further restrict the citizens of his state's rights. Ignoring the problem that you have a population of frankly mentally unstable people and a society that encourages and celebrates the crazy. Instead of calling a special session to, put more gun control, call a special session to take a look at, what's the state doing to facilitate, sex transition, pre-puberty, all that bull crap. So
yeah, and that's like the major one, but like it's not only that, just like all of these kids are just getting shoved these SSRIs and things like that without getting to the root of any kind of problems. They're not old enough to be able to absorb these kind of medications at the levels that they are. And you know, a lot of these teachers, you know, are recommending it to the parents, like, oh, your child is not paying attention in class, you know, they may need to be evaluated. They get sent over to the medical industry, and the medical industry says, all right, here, ADHD medication, after asking some pre-screening questions. So it's just, no, they're not trying to figure out what's going on, you know, what's happening with these kids, and then they're growing up to be violent because whatever void that they were trying to get filled when they were kids, that they weren't getting filled, it's still happening. And now they're on these antipsychotic medications that a lot of them, they have side effects that can be to the negative, you know, and that's not being addressed either. So it's just all of it. And then it brings us back to RFK Jr. and what he's trying to do with everything, you know, regarding our nation's health. It's just so frustrating because you just think of how many lives are just going to continue to be lost because these politicians just love playing politics, and they have a clear agenda, and it's to disarm this nation. And they're all going to talk in lockstep. They're all going to do it. They're going to keep on with this same old narrative. Crazy. And they have the audacity to point the other way and say that we have blood on our hands.
Right. I was trying to get a better look at the chat here.
When I was a kid, they tried to do that to me. My mom told them, hell no. Yeah, they wanted her to put me on Ritalin. I'm so glad she said no. Yeah. Yeah, and you want to know the crazy part about it is they get put on these medications. Some their psychiatrist or whoever that is administering this medication, they'll retire or they'll move. Then that patient needs medication. They have issues. They haven't been seeing their primary doctor, you know, in a while. They'll need to get seen. Surprise, surprise, there's not an appointment until next month. So now what? The kid has to go a month without the medication. So what happens there? The management of the medication is also terrible.
Yeah.
It's just a mess.
Creates a whole other problem that really shouldn't have been a problem in the first place.
Like why all of a sudden is all these generations just can't deal with life without popping a pill? Anything.
Right. It is definitely a problem.
Yeah. Big Pharma's just loving every minute of it.
I tell you what, though, you ready for something that you don't need to pop a pill for?
Yes, I am.
Oh, wrong thing. Dang it.
Hey, chat.
There we go. Take it away.
Yeah. All right. So a palate cleanser before the official palate cleanser. I love it. From the New York Post. Wildlife photographer captures adorable pictures of happy elephant family in Kenyan safari. So cute. A wildlife photographer has captured pictures of the world's happiest elephant family. Andy Rouse documented a Kenyan herd with incredibly playful young calves. The award-winning British snapper shot the small elephants playing around with branches and appearing fascinated by the adults pooping. Okay.
That was the funniest part for me of this when I researched this article.
There is one picture like, whoa, that's like the Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park when he walks over the ball. He says that's one big pile. Andy says, I lead safari tours several times a year and love going to Samburu in Kenya as the elephants there are special. They look special.
I don't know. That little one there looks kind of derpy, but okay.
Oh, we love the derps. They're so cute. Let's see. They're very relaxed, and because of this, the herds will let you get very close to them and will pass close to vehicles without any issues. We positioned the vehicle well ahead of them, so the matriarch had time to get used to us and felt comfortable. It's so important when you work with elephants, as I have done for my 25-year career, that you understand them and work within their tolerances. Yeah. I mean, elephants are pretty easygoing, but if they feel threatened, they're just like any other animal. They will protect their little ones. So it's and you know, you don't want to stress them out like you said either, because then you can't go near them anymore. You create some kind of like vibe. Let's see, the female in the herd settled around us. Look at how cute! Grazing, the calves took it upon themselves to create havoc, chasing birds, doing mock charges to our vehicle. I swear, if I was like sitting there in a vehicle and one of those little darlings started charging at me, I think I just melt into a puddle. Playing tug of war with branches. Their antics made us laugh out loud. Young elephants are just lovable idiots, and I so love working with them. Like, the 30 minutes that we spent with this herd was one of the highlights of the trip. All the more special as I had my 10-year-old daughter on her first safari. Aww. To dictate to her about the wonder of elephants, the dangers saving them, and the need to conserve them was a special thing. Oh my gosh. So cute. I just love them so much. They're so sweet. I had a pet elephant when I was a baby, and my mom swears that elephant is my first word. Because I was obsessed with this thing. Yeah. So it's kind of odd that you chose this article as a perfect palate cleanser.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, I bet he'll love that.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Well, it's always good, you know, because we talk about such serious stuff and, you know, the world can get so chaotic, but you can't forget the beauty. And just like in these animals, when they're just in their own habitat and they're just doing their thing and being all goofy and sweet, just the best ever. Best.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Is it that time?
It is that time. Let me go ahead and try to get one thing right tonight. So I'll go ahead and play the bump.
Bump us. Yeah. All right, everybody. So this is Caption This. This is the game we play at the end of every Sunset Ranch show. We give you an AI-generated photo, and we ask you, the audience, please participate and give us a funny caption. So you might have to think a little deep about this one, but I really love this picture. I think the colors are so awesome.
I mean, if nothing else, I mean, that image will look great on a black T-shirt.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. And it's kind of like the Romanation colors. Like
it really is. Yeah. It worked out well. I mean, y'all don't listen where this image started and where it got. Just, just appreciate the beauty. That's all I'll say. Just appreciate the beauty.
All right. Let's see what we got.
Damn, I already killed that bear.
Iris said, I was watching a Thai drama and the elephant that the king rode really was treated well after the war, quite revered. Oh, wow. Oh, what movie is that? I'd be interested to watch. If they only knew how good the elephants in Thailand have it. Oh my god, I just love them so much. It's like I don't want to bother them. I don't want them to be like locked up in a zoo or anything so I can go, gawk at them. I'd much rather go to the safari, but it's, expensive stuff. Hey, Doug.
I'll be right back.
Okay. All right, let's see what we got. Jennifer says, Dr. Sohn on way to find corn. Yeah, he's on a mission for sure. Captain Roma go to look for a nation. Yeah, I love that. All right, let's see. Hardy says 2 moons over my swabby. This is, why does Neverland look like Little St. James Island? Oh no. Jennifer, the pirates are coming. The pirates are coming. That's great. Vesh, it was all good till Captain Jeff was stealing the boat. All right. I want to come up with something too. Let me see. There's mine. RFK Jr. on the river less traveled. Kind of like he's revolutionary on the road less traveled. I believe it was called One World, One Sky. It was a palace espionage drama. Oh. I'm gonna write that down. Thank you, Iris. One Sky.
I like yours, RFK Jr. on the river less traveled.
You. Espionage. I'm writing down this like movie so I could check it out.
Vashnik, though, but Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh no!
Oh shit!
No, we're not putting that on a T-shirt, Vash, and I'm not wearing it. Can't make me.
I don't know. Makes me chuckle. Automatically gives it a leg up. Oh, I said, what's Hardy say? 2 moons over my swabby. Okay, that's neat.
Jennifer walked the plank, matey, on this 2 moon. Our time beaten for thing you did wrong. Double blood moon.
Oh, jeez.
When seasickness is the best part of the trip on an Epstein family vacation. Oh God. All right.
Okay.
The Pirates Are Coming was cute. The Pirates Are Coming. The Pirates Are Coming. That was cute.
Who had that?
Jennifer. And she also did Captain Roma Go to Look for a Nation. That was cool.
Okay.
Maybe just give it like another minute or two.
Yeah.
We got the boss in here. Jenny convincing. Oh wait, where'd it go? Jenny convincing Forrest to have a Black Panther party on his boat. Oh no! I'm sorry, I ruined your Black Panther party.
Your Black Panther party.
Wait. Oh, that was like further up. I didn't even see that until just now. It's so weird how it like jumps like that. As the Lost Boys floated off into the night, they had no idea Captain Hook was steering the ship. Oh no, that's terrible. If you were waiting for the opportune moment, that was it. Jack Sparrow narrowly escaping incoming Navy fighters. Oh my God, the best part of that Pirates of the Caribbean is like when his ship is literally just like sinking and he gets all the way to the tippity top and just steps right onto the dock and it's just like, whatever, I'll get another ship.
Yeah.
They had rooms that were like glass walls, and they had the bear room. That was the bear room was a big glass divider.
I like Captain Roma Going to Look for a Nation. I thought that was cool. I think she was like playing on that. It kind of looks like the Roma Nation colors.
Yeah, I like that one too.
I think that's cute.
Oh, wait a second. Hardy, last minute. Yo ho, bottle of rum.
Hey.
Hey.
Yes. Answer is yes.
Right quick in the chat, give us a 1 for Jennifer Roma looking for a nation, a 2 for Hardy, yo ho, bottle of rum. You got about 2 minutes. Let's go.
Right.
I am going to put my vote in the Rumble chat.
Okay.
And we're split.
No.
We are split.
All right, come on, guys. Give us some votes. Help us out.
And the chat is tied. We're split. The chat's tied.
Oh, no.
Frickin' typical. Damn it, Doug. Listen,
no,
are you...
Doug. All right, we got 3 for 1.
Yeah, Hardy's just too humble to vote for themselves. Roma votes for 2. Yeah. Yeah, it's tied again. It's tied up again.
All right. All right, we got another 2.
That's just Vash again.
That's Vash again.
Yes.
Wow, he's got you. Uh-oh, we got another 2. Okay.
Well, Doug finally decided on one, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 ones, and then we've got 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so two just one.
So 2, 1. So congratulations, Hardy.
Yes. What was it? Yo ho, bottle of rum? Question mark.
Yep.
That looks great. That actually would look great.
Yeah, Navessa, I know you're moving. You just missed out. I mean, hell, if you'd had your studio set up, you might have been hosting tonight instead of me, to be fair.
All's going well over there, sir. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody, as always, for coming to join us here on Sunset Rants. We appreciate all of you. And thank you for playing the game with us. You guys are freaking awesome. Vash 3 still trolling. If you want to visit our website, you can use the Q&R code right at the top there of the screen. Go to riseofmiddleamerica.com. You can see all of our latest videos, links to the Discord, and all of our channels on Rumble, YouTube, X, all of our hosts and everything there. You can get our merch there. That's, we're going to be posting all of the Caption This winners and their merch there. So definitely check that out. It's a great way to support the channel. And you can find me on X, Elizabetty213A, and you can find Brian there, Brian Tidwell1. He just posted an updated bullet points with Brian, which I thought was awesome. You guys got to check that out. So definitely go to his X, give him a follow, and check out his recent upload because it was hysterical.
Yeah, and if you're a regular Discord user and you recognize yourself in there, not sorry.
Yep. And don't forget, you guys, we got Roma Sports going live 10:30 p.m. Eastern. So go, grab a snack, get something to drink, use the facilities, come back, and I'll chill with you guys in the chat. And I hope you have a great night. Thank you, Brian, for hosting with me.
No problem, Betty. No problem at all.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
So I got to thinking, there's MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. MAGA, Make America Great Again. But what we really need to do is make America follow the Constitution again. Motherfucker. That sounded better in my head.